Hey Rita, I sure am enjoying John's diversity unit this semester, aren't you? Yes, I am enjoying the unit also. The content is very useful and I absolutely love all of John's Plotagons. Okay, let's get a wriggle on and introduce our target group of students, shall we? We shall. Our target group of students are the students with mild to moderate hearing impairments. A person with mild hearing loss may have difficulty hearing soft or distant speech. They may also have trouble with hearing in normal conversations with background noise. That's right, and a person with moderate hearing loss needs hearing aids to understand normal speech. Without hearing aids, the person will need to rely on speech reading cues. This requires a high amount of concentration and can be very tiring. Hearing aids make sounds louder, including background noise. They work better in quieter environments. Some of the impacts on learning for these students may be becoming exhausted quicker than most people due to having to really concentrate or being in a noisy class, not hearing all the words that was said, especially the S sounds. This is due to decreased sensitivity to higher frequencies where the S sounds are in the frequency spectrum, struggling to understand instructions and key content without visual cues, having issues with pronouncing words and limited vocabulary. Misinterpreting what was said although it was heard. Students can miss at least 50 of what was said in the classroom due to her moderate hearing loss, and hearing loss can manifest itself in perceived behavioral inattention, ADHD or ADD. Wow, that must be difficult to deal with. How do you think these things impact student inclusion in the regular classroom, and how do you think they impact on interactions between the hearing impaired students, teachers and peers? Well, Jess, I'm glad you asked. You see, students with hearing impairments may withdraw themselves from activities within the classroom and become secluded from their peers. The students with hearing impairments who act out in class and are perceived to have behavioral inattention may be excluded from activities as their teachers may not be searching for an underlying issue with the student and may believe the student is just disruptive. If students are diagnosed with hearing loss, the interactions between themselves, their peers and their teachers may become more understanding and cooperative. Teachers would be able to allow for visual aids within the classroom for the students, and once informed on hearing loss, the students' peers may be used as a kind of buddy system to assist the students' learning. Okay, Rita, so it's about being aware of the differences in disabilities within the classroom and how we can alter our classroom environment to benefit and include all of our students. Exactly, Jess. I thought you may need a drink of water after dropping all the information on us, Rita, hence the change of scenery. Thanks, Jess, I am quite parched. Now that we've established that we must become more inclusive within the classroom, what changes are necessary to provide our hearing impaired students with better social and academic opportunities? Well, to start with, ensuring that the students in the class are well informed about hearing impairments is important. The peers are then more aware of the difficulties that the hearing impaired student faces on a daily basis, and they are more likely to be empathetic and helpful. The use of group work tasks within the classroom gives all students a better opportunity of getting to know one another, but also assists with academic growth as students can peer to teach. Yes, those are some great points. I also think it is important to value every member of the class and make sure everyone in the classroom has full access to all activities. Deaf Children Australia, 2012. That is very important, Rita. Okay, now we must do some research. To the computer. Okay, Rita, now that we've got ourselves a computer, we can do some research. What are the legislation and policy that impact on hearing impaired students? Well, the Australian government standards known as the Disability Standards for Education 2005 clarify the obligations of all education and training providers and seek to ensure that students with disability can access and participate in education on the same basis as other students. These standards were established in the Disability Discrimination Act 1992, which states that persons with disabilities have the same fundamental rights as the rest of the community, including the right to an education. I completely agree. Everyone should have access to an education. Yes, as Hamel, 2017 states, by preparing to create an inclusive, team-oriented environment that ensures every student receives what he or she needs, we will perhaps begin to create true equity and fairness for all students in our public school systems. Now that we're in a more casual setting, let's chat about how to include important stakeholders in the learning of the students with mild to moderate hearing loss. Okay, well, there are many important stakeholders to take into account when considering students with hearing impairments. These include parents, education assistants, hearing specialists/audiologists, and any other medical professionals involved in the management of the student's mild to moderate hearing impairment. It is important for the hearing impaired student and their parents to have a meeting with her teacher and education assistant as regularly as possible to ensure that everyone is kept up to date on the student's educational needs. In these meetings, it will be important for the student's parents to have contacted the medical professional involved with the impairment and to have any updated information about the condition that may affect the way the student may learn or behave within the classroom. Teachers are also responsible for provide assistive technologies in the classroom so the students can understand instructions more clearly. Another important aspect teachers and education assistants are responsible for is the creation and development of an education plan, with the assistance of the student, of course. This plan should include seating arrangements, education assistant plans, peers that are happy to be buddies with a hearing impaired student to assist if need be, and goals for the student's education, both short-term and long-term. An education plan is helpful for all parties involved as they are able to use this plan when looking at the student's progress and adjust any activities to allow for the student with hearing loss to participate with all of their peers. Exactly, Jess. By the looks of the change in scenery, we are coming to the end of our presentation. Yes, hopefully our peers will be able to take our Plotagon and implement some of the information into their future teaching. Inclusion is key, my friends. That concludes our presentation today. We hope you found it informative. Thanks for watching.